Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Planet Coaster. Today, I would like to sort of finish this area over here and maybe do a little bit of work on this area over here. And then, of course, we will start, as we do, another area in the park. I'm not quite sure what we'll do today. Maybe we'll touch on roller coasters, although I think I'll leave that for another episode or two, just so we can get a sort of proper little park in this space and a nice big roller coaster back here. I kind of like that idea. Maybe a roller coaster that sort of comes around and through this section of the park. That could be kind of exciting. But it's probably not the best idea to talk about and hype up future episodes without knowing if they're actually going to be any good. So we will avoid doing that for the meantime. But what I would like to do, and what I would like to focus on, as I've said, is to start off with this area here. Because I've been on the Planet Coaster subreddit, and I saw this post by someone that was like, I spent my first 30 minutes in the game building a toilet. And it's this amazing looking building that's much better than this building I have here. So I'm going to just, you know, tear this toilet block apart a little bit and make something a little bit better, because I'm slightly concerned by the fact that my toilet block doesn't actually look all that good. I'm also going to pause the game so I can continue building through daytime rather than having to build at nighttime. But it's interesting to see that you can really build some beautiful things in this, and I know that. I mean, I'm playing it. I've said that you can build some excellent things in Planet Coaster, and it is very true. It's just when you look at someone's build, like you've spent so long building this toilet, and then you look at someone else's, and it's like, oh, okay, well, mine is terrible. It's just slightly disheartening when you look at it and go, oh, well, okay, well, that was a waste of time. It wasn't a waste of time. I mean, this toilet block looks all right, but his looks better, is what I'm getting at. So I'm going to try and make my toilet block look a little bit better. And I do also want to do some detailing to the building over there, the food court, as we've called it, so we can, you know, just make it look kind of nice too. I also think I want to do a little bit of brick back here. Just so this does sort of look like the back of a building, because it's not really... This is the back of a building. It's not really going to be as nice and as pleasant to look at as the front of the building would be. So I do like the idea of doing a little bit of brick just back here. Now let's go ahead and put the roof on here. I want that kind of slanted roof like that, and then I want this bit to be curving up like so. So it goes the whole way in there, and then we'll lower that down. And immediately, that roof looks much better than it previously did. So that's a good start. I do think I want to come in and tear out these bits here, because I kind of like the idea of maybe just, lowering some... Maybe not lowering, but maybe doing something like this, where we have some panels there, so it is obviously a roof. I could even go ahead and lower it into there, couldn't I? That is a thing I could do, but it looks a little bit ugly on the side, so we'll not actually bother doing that. But we do have that roof section there. I will actually go ahead and put in... Ooh, actually, a wooden half wall could look really good in there. But does it line up properly? It does not, which is kind of annoying. Let's lower that down to the correct height, which is there, and try and get this to all line up perfectly, which is going to be really... Okay, you know what would make a lot more sense? Taking this bit of roof off here, because I don't know why I tried making it more difficult for myself. That's not something I really need to do right now. But let's just bring this across. We'll do a little bit of wood here. It's not going to be all that visible. Not really. If you're in the park itself, you'll not really see the wood here, but I like the idea of doing this anyway. Then I want to go to wall extras. I want to go to pipe supports. And I kind of like the idea of doing these, or potentially the scaffolding pipe is way too big. And the wooden pipes as well, I think, are... Not pipes, the wooden pillars are also way too big. That's also way too big. Something tells me, I mean, I could go for these. These are about the right height. In fact, they are the perfect height for what I want to do, but they do sort of extend over the edge. So I think we'll stick with these ones, because I like the idea of bringing a little bit of blue into this build anyway, then doing the same on the sides there. And then we'll just put the roof on that, is what I'm thinking. And I could put some lights up there if I really wanted to. I think that could look very interesting. I'll also do this sort of just have these pillars to hold up the section of roof. I think that could look kind of good. So let's go ahead and get the roof that we need again, then just lower it onto those, which actually clip through it annoyingly. Can I lower those down at all so they don't do that? I'm going to just have to go with regular pillars, aren't I? Because if I don't, these are going to clip through that roof and look a little bit ugly. So what we'll do is take these all out, then we'll go for the wall extras, not building attachments. We'll go for these, which don't actually have the bases on them, and we just lower them down one little notch there, and that should be fine. Those will just be touching the base of the roof rather than going through it, which is what we wanted to do. So bring those around to there. We'll do the same just there, and just there. Then we just put the roof on, and it should look completely fine. So if we do this, we can do this, not that. We'll fix that in a second. Bring this down to the correct height, put that one there, and get rid of that bit. I said get rid of that bit. And immediately it looks a little bit better. It's not anything spectacular, but it does, to me at least, look a little bit better. Now let's see what we can do. Can we get some, we can get some railing bases here around the edge of it if we really want to, which could look interesting, but I think we'll avoid doing that for the time being, although I could do it in there, which could look kind of fun actually. Let's see what it would look like if I do that just along the front of the building there, so it kind of looks like it has this sort of edge in there. That's not low enough. That needs to go one lower. There we go. So how does that look? That looks... no, I don't like that at all. I don't like that. Let's see what we can do with this, though. I want to get the lights in there, and I want to figure out a good design for the exterior of this building. There we go. I reckon this looks a little bit better. It's got the pillars, it's got the wood, it's got some lights shining out, it's got some lights back there that'll light up at nighttime and actually make this top area of the building quite bright. And what I'll do is actually speed time up a little bit so we can see how this will end up looking at night sooner as opposed to later. As for this building, I, for one, want to see how the inside of it's doing. There are people going to Chief Beef, there are people going and getting hats, which is good. They're actually queuing up for hats. Look at that. That's a lot of people queuing up for hats, which is pretty cool, actually. Those guys all got some hats. Some people getting drinks as well, which is excellent. Not really all that much room to queue up for stuff, but I'm okay with that. Good old Chief Beef there. That's a question. Is Chief Beef about in the park? We've got the pirate there. We have the planet. There he is. Good old Chief Beef. There's the man himself, flipping that spatula. You do you, Chief Beef. You do you. Let no one tell you what to do, Chief Beef. Here's the thing, though. I would like to take these pathways out, this one, and move them a little bit closer to this building, because I'd like to have this building extend out a little bit. And I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this, because it might look a little bit silly, but I kind of like the idea that the roof on this building would sort of come out like that, basically. I like the idea that it would come out like that. The pathway is going to be underneath it, and it would have some pillars that will sort of hold the roof up. I'm just not really sure how I would go about doing this. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for the roof. It'd be nice if you could get some roof molding that was wood. But unfortunately, you can't do that currently. You can get wooden columns, but you can't get the molding that I'd want. So what we'll do is we'll just stick with the molding that we can use, which is this lovely white molding, which is what we've used over here, as you can see. And we'll just sort of chuck this all around the roof where it needs to go, like so and like so. Then we'll bring this bit up to where it needs to be, bring this bit to where it needs to be, do the same on this side, do the same there. And now all we need to do is put the corners in, which are these little blocks here, so bring that down to the correct height, and put it in position. I'm not going to show you all of this, don't worry, I'll cut out the lengthy bits where we put in the sides. But I just thought I'd show you that, you know, you can really customize your rooftop, and I didn't know this, and it annoys me, because it could have looked so much better in the last episode rather than doing it in this one. You know, I'm looking at this and thinking it really needs a taller roof on it. I don't know, I feel like the roof should come up a little bit more than it currently does, but we'll see. I don't think it's going to be possible, because we'd have to use this sort of... The way this would work is this roof, this curve comes out like this, so the next one would obviously be this one. Then they would sort of, if we do this, we can sort of show you. You can't really get another curve there, so what you'd have to do is that. And that doesn't look so good to me. I'm not a fan of that, so we're not really going to be able to get another curve on here, unfortunately. But I guess we'll make it work. We'll figure out something to do. But what we need to do first is, for one, come in here with the columns that we're going to be using. And I think we will just stick with these columns because they work kind of nicely, actually. They look pretty great. We'll do the same down this end. We'll do a gap of 2 between the columns and see how that turns out. Actually turned out perfectly. Amazing. All right, so 1, and there's a gap of 2, gap of 2, gap of 2, gap of 2, and gap of 2. And so the columns are in place, which is great news. The building already looks a little bit better. But what we do need to do is now move these pathways, which is going to be the tricky bit, because pathways in Planet Coaster are moody, is the word I will use to describe pathways in Planet Coaster. They're a little bit moody. So let's see, let's get rid of that bit. We'll get rid of that bit as well. Bring this pathway back to here, not getting rid of anything we don't want to get rid of. Then we just need to line this up like that, actually. Do some angle snapping and just go straight ahead with it. That's the wrong type of path. That's not what we wanted. So what we want is that one. We want to go like that. Now hold on a minute. Bring that back a little bit. So we have this kind of thing. There we go. So that comes straight through like so. And actually, it does have a little bit of an angle to it there. I don't really like that. That's less than ideal. Can I come off of there perfectly like that? I sort of can. Now, here's the real question. Can I... No, this is going to be an awkward connection to make. Okay, hold on a minute. This is going to be tricky, but I'll make it work. I'm just going to have to get rid of a lot of the pathway in here to make sure this one goes straight on. So that needs to be 6 meters wide rather than 4. So bring that up to 6. Go straight to there. And bring that bit back a little bit. Take this one to... No, I'm going to need to bring that one back too. Because this one... I want this one to go straight on. That's the thing. I want this bit of path to go straight on like that. And straight on like that. Because then what I can do is use this bit of path and go back down to 4 meters and connect it straight like that. Which is perfect. Then this bit can go, I guess, I could probably knock the length down a little bit and do something like this, maybe? Sort of bring it in that way and have it connect to there. That's not so bad. Then get rid of these little bits. Yeah, that looks okay to me. That's perfect, actually. It's right where I wanted it to be. So the path follows underneath here really nicely. Excellent. Now we need to do the same on this side, which might be a little bit more tricky. Or maybe it won't, actually, just looking at it. So just bring this straight through. Obviously, can't really see what's going on, but that's fine. Oh. Now that is actually at a bit of an angle. Oh, because I didn't do angle snapping, did I? That'll be why. Okay, let's do angle snap and bring this back a little bit. Now we want to go straight through. Oh, the building's actually at an angle. I didn't realize that. Okay, give me a bit more length then. And let me see what I can work with here. So that is... Yeah, that's not ideal, actually. That is really not ideal. That, I guess, is what we're going to have to work with. because I can't really get it any closer. So this needs to be much shorter. And this is going to be a little bit tricky because that angle's a bit difficult to work with. That works, but I think I'd want to maybe knock that path away and see if I can come out of here on a nice straight section. That'll potentially work. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Width is going to be 4, and coming off of there, we need it to connect. So it's really not going to let me, is it? It's going to be a little bit silly, which I don't appreciate, but maybe, just maybe, I guess I can do that. Then sort of come off of here with a wider section and just connect in a weird way. I'm not okay about this at all, but it's kind of all I can do, really. No, that looks terrible. That looks awful, good lord. Let's see, can I make this... I can make that connect to there. Looks a bit better. Take this bit of connection back, go to 4 meters, and go like that. That'll do. So that's what I wanted. That's all connected around. The pathways are underneath the building. Now all I need to do is reconnect there. And somehow work out how I'm going to make this have a nice right angle on it again. That's going to be tricky. Let's do that. Hold on. There we go. That's what I wanted. Connect that to there. Then we just connect through here like... Hold on a minute. So, beautiful. That actually worked. I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised that worked, but it looks so much better for it. What we could even go ahead and do is go to buildings, go to decorations, not decorations, wall signs? Yes. So go to wall signs, and in this middle bit, we could do a chief beef sign, because why not? Maybe the bigger one, maybe something like this one. Although that's not quite as big as I'd like. The neon one's too big, so I think we will actually just go with the with this one. So that's about central, which is fine by me. On this one, what the hell? That was very strange. Let's delete that. On this one, we'll do this sign. Again, looks fairly central to me. And over here, we're gonna do... What was the other one? It was the hats, wasn't it? Hats, fantastic. Bit big there. Something a bit smaller, please. This one? Oh yeah, that'll do. So that can go there. Now that one sticks out a little bit much. Is there a flatter hats fantastic sign? I certainly hope so. Though it doesn't really look like it, does it? I think hats fantastic might be the only one that doesn't have a nice flat sign for it. Ooh. We could do some posters like that as well. Or maybe save those for elsewhere. Although those could look good there. Oh, I really shouldn't look into customization this much, but we'll do a poster of the Coaster King just there. We'll get a poster. Have we got other posters for the other ones? Have we got a Chief Beef one? We've got Captain Lockjaw right there, who we can put up there. Why not? There we go, Captain Lockjaw. Do we have a Chief Beef poster? That's the important question. Doesn't look like we do. We've got security, but I'm not actually seeing a Chief Beef poster. We do have the cutout, but that's disappointing. We'll do the Kraken instead. We'll put a poster of the Kraken just there. That looks a bit better. Doesn't look so bad. I think the only thing we really need now is a bit of lighting. Alright, so we have some lights under there. I think what we really need to do now, just to finish this area off, is get some... We'll get a planter in here. I know it's a pirate planter, but, you know... Oh, why is my PC constantly making that Windows 10 sound? There it is again! Seriously, if you're hearing that, don't worry. Don't freak out. Your PC's not having a fit. Mine is. We'll do some stuff like this. I know these are all pirate themed, but it's kind of all we've really got at the minute in terms of decorations. So we'll do some stuff like that, because why not? I'll not do a shipwreck, because that seems a little bit silly. We'll go to nature. I'm actually going to pause the game a little bit, just so I can do a little bit of last-minute building while there's still a little bit of last-minute light. And just rotate this like so, and just chuck it there. We'll do a bit of the floral bush just there. And we'll do another one just on this side of the pillar as well, because why not? Then we'll do... I don't think we'll bother with short palm trees. They look a little bit silly. We could do a nice tree, I mean, a proper tree, birch tree, just there, because why not? So we'll do a bit of this just at the base of the birch tree as well. Lower it down a bit. There we go. And plop it there. So that doesn't look so bad to me. We'll bring this out a little bit so it just looks a little bit more like it's got some proper greenery going on there. So that looks good to me. I know this area back here is still a little bit bare, but I'm actually very curious to see how this looks at nighttime. So let's unpause and let things speed up a little bit. This over here, I mean, those lights are obviously hitting the roof there, but that's fine. I'm not really too worried about that. Those lights in there sort of light it up kind of nicely. And the lights we have underneath here are actually not adding all that much light here at all. So I really might want to change those out for something else, such as the lights that actually shine down. So if I do that, yeah, that looks like it makes a lot more sense to me, having these kind of lights here rather than the square ones I had. So if I do that, yeah, that lights the area up much better, although it almost sort of shines in on itself. Is there anything else I could use? Because I don't know that I like those lights as much. I could obviously use that, but that's meant to be more of a sort of downward spotlight. This one is sort of similar to the light we had before. So I guess this is the best one, isn't it? This will have to do. Let's go about and replace all the lights again. Well, this looks fine to me. We have a Chief Beef statue up here, which I just love. That's quite the view there. It really is just good old Chief Beef enjoying himself. We also have these lights, which work much better than the ones we had before. I do think we should probably get some lights above those signs, I guess. It would probably make some sense. We could also do something in here, like this place is very dark. But I almost kind of like that. I mean, at nighttime, you're not really supposed to be in a theme park at nighttime anyway, but it might make some sense to get some lights on these posters. So let's see what we could do. We could do something like this, which actually looks kind of okay to me. So, could I take that a little bit higher and do something like that? I could. What about the... Oh, what's my camera doing? Good. Okay, my camera's gone mental. Excellent. Just do all of the escapes, and then we can zoom in a little bit further. Let's see, though. Can I do the little box light above this? Not really. Not really. I mean, I could do this. I could always do a great big spotlight on it, but I think that's going to be a little bit silly. I was actually tempted to do a spotlight for Chief Beef, which may actually make sense if I do something like that. What about a yellow one? What about a blue one? No, I think a white spotlight on Chief Beef kind of makes a bit of sense there. He's got a pink one, he's got a white one on him. We'll just do a little bit of scenery around him to just try and hide the spotlight a little bit. I mean, it's obviously noticeable. If you're walking there, you're going to have a spotlight in the face, but that's okay. You know, it's part of the thrill. Oh, there's the mascot Chief Beef as well. Excellent. It's part of the thrill of coming to this park is being blinded by spotlights. Just so you know. Let's rotate this a little bit so it's kind of like that. And that looks good. I am actually quite pleased with how this area now looks. We only spent 35 minutes doing it. I also didn't reconnect the toilets, which was great. Good job, me. Let's go to paths. Let's go to here, and I want to do a length 1 turn there, and I guess we'll connect like that. We'll do a turn there and connect like that. And those are, by all intents and purposes, not connected. I still can't connect in the middle there, which is annoying, so we'll just do this again and keep them the way they were. So we now have this area, which I will fill out eventually. It is also a very dark area. That's something I really need to do more of, but it takes so much time. I love doing all the lighting and stuff, but doing like these kind of lights, like actual sort of street lights for the park, like they're not even all that bright. Seriously, look at that. That's not all that bright. Not really. That's something I really want to see more of is actual bright streetlights, or maybe just streetlights that happen to be on the paths anyway, because that would save so much time. But whatever. I'm rambling. It doesn't matter. We've made this area look better. Let's actually go and start on a new area of the park. I say that. We should probably speed up time a little bit and actually get to daytime so it doesn't look as dark. But I really like that. I love the Chief Beef statue. I love how the buildings look now that they've been tweaked a little bit. I think this one could use a little bit more work, especially on the inside, but we'll get to that eventually. As I've said before, we are going to revisit some of this stuff eventually and make it a bit better. But I don't want to spend, 2 episodes solely on this one area, not just yet. So it is coming up to 6 a.m., as you can see in the bottom right corner, which means it's going to be getting light, which is excellent news. I'd love to sort of rearrange this as well. This whole raised section here just annoys me. But we'll deal with it for the time being. We'll eventually make something there that's going to look a bit better. And we will eventually put some stuff in here. In fact, maybe we should put something in here now. Maybe that would be a good idea. Instead of just leaving it blank, we could start actually filling out this space in the middle. So let's actually see what we could do there. Let's take this path out completely. And we'll add it back in eventually. So we'll do that. This raised section, I really feel like I could change it. I really do. I feel like I want to make it a bit better. And that was a bad idea, because reconnecting to all of this is going to be a nightmare. Oh boy. That was also a bad idea, because reconnecting to all of this is going to be a nightmare. Oh, what have I done? This is bad. This is very bad, because it means... that sort of works. With 6, please. Get rid of that bit. Can I go straight on? I can. Okay. So we want to go straight on. I guess we're going to have to go to there. We'll go to length 2 and see if we can go down to ground level, which we almost can. It is actually going to sort of even itself out a little bit there, which is strange. I don't like that it does that. I want it to, I want it to be a straight curve, not that kind of 2 different angles in that slope, because that doesn't make sense to me. Let's see, could we... I could do that, but it's clipping through the ground, which isn't great. Let's go to length 1. Let's go there. Then angle it down, and it's doing the angle thing again. That's not great, though. I guess that's better than what we had, though. That'll do. I will allow that. Let's bring this over to here. Let's get rid of these bits of pathway, and get rid of that bit as well. Just this entire section, I suppose. Like so. Bring it over and connect like that. And I guess immediately that looks a little bit better. The only problem is we really need to reconnect all of this, which is going to be a nightmare. Actually, that turned out to be fairly easy. I'm surprised. It usually isn't. But there we go. We have all that reconnected. This area eventually will have some stuff in it. It's going to be just mostly trees, but we'll get to that eventually. This space here, I think I will actually continue the path just straight on the way we sort of had it, but we're actually going to have a proper right angle there instead. So we'll do... we could do this kind of thing. We'll bring that back a little bit and see if we can just get a nice angle on there. Sort of just curve it a little bit. Go to length 2 and bring it this way and like that, I think. I quite like that. Just a little bit of a curve to shake things up. And I think for the meantime, I am actually going to go ahead and just completely get rid of this central square. We're not really using it, and I don't really have any plans for it. I sort of wanted the central square for the park, but now that I look at it in use, it just doesn't really make sense, does it? So let's just see about rearranging some of this. I mean, can I get this to work in a better way? That looks pretty good. That works for me. Then bring this out like that. Yeah, a little bit messy, but it does leave us this bit to continue straight on with, so that's fine by me. What are we going to put in here, though? What rides do we have? That's the big question. We do have the Rocktopus, which could go in there. We have the Magic Twirl, which looks to almost have that villain from The Little Mermaid on there, Ursula, whatever her face was. That one, you know, that one. The one that turns into the squid thing. What's that? That's the aeronauts, the 360 power. That's an interesting one. That's actually that's another toll rider, I suppose. Let's do some sort of spinny ones here. We'll do the whirly rig, and we'll do the Rocktopus in here, because I think that could be kind of nice. We'll put the whirly rig just sort of facing the entrance to the park a little bit, so something like this, with about there, I think. Also, do all my rides have that same base on them? They don't. That's interesting that the whirly rig does have that that kind of ground in there, because that's the different tile for the pathways that you can use. So that's peculiar, is what that is. Now let's see. I'll do the entrance to this just there. And I'll do the exit just there. That's actually kind of perfect. It just goes straight out onto that path, which is what I want to see. We're going to add the queue for the entrance, which is going to go a little bit this way. I think we'll sort of... I guess we could actually connect it to that path over there, but I'll just bring it up a little bit like... We'll bring it off the main thing. We'll bring it off that main path, I think. So if we do that kind of thing, then we just add the ticket booth. We can sort of have it work. I just want to rotate this a little bit so it's more like that. That's not quite what I'm looking for. I need it to look... It really should go that way, shouldn't it? That would look a lot better if we do... Oh, hold on. There we go. I guess that looks okay. It's not as good as it could be, but I think we can fill in that space with some stuff. We could even put a building or two in there, some toilets or something. That might be a pretty good idea. So let's turn on the whirly rig. There we go. And we'll also put, like I said, the Rocktopus in here. Is my game frozen? I think my game might have frozen. Well, the good news is I didn't lose everything. Auto-saving is a blessing. We did lose the placement of this ride and the paths, but that was easy enough to fix. Auto-saving saved all of this work that we did here, so we didn't lose all that much. And now we do have these rides up and working. We have the good old whirly rig, and we have the Rocktopus over there, both of which have their entrances and their queues in this space, where I reckon we really should do another little toilet block type thing. My throat is apparently not wanting to hold up, but it's gonna. It's not really getting a choice in this. So we'll do a toilet block in here. I think that could be a good place for it. And we'll see. There is a cat on the floor who wants out of the office. Well, that's sorted. He's gone outside, probably to poop, as he does. It's kind of his thing. He's a cat, so it's to be expected. Let's see what we can do with this this building here. This is going to be the toilet block. We're going to make something interesting out of it, I'm sure. So I think we could do this kind of thing at both sides. It's not going to be a huge building by any stretch of the imagination. It's going to be quite small. I want to try to keep it sort of confined to this space. Then put a bunch of trees and stuff around it. But I do, of course, want to use a bit of wood in the build, because I'm actually really enjoying the look of having wood with the white panels here. I think it looks excellent. So we'll go with that. We'll do... I mean, I could do this kind of thing here. I could use this. Alternatively, I guess I could, if I really wanted to, use this kind of thing and then lower it down one. Oh, is that really not going to let me? That's odd. I would expect it to maybe let me lower it down, but that's not a thing. I guess what we could do is this kind of thing and have those sort of roof things on either side with the little supports like that. So it's sort of a framework for the building, which looks kind of interesting. Then we just go ahead and put the actual roof on there, like so. If it would just so kindly go there, then we'll do the panels across the top like that. And all we need to do now is go ahead and put the actual sort of accents on there a little bit. So raise that up to that height and not there at all. That's not where that was supposed to go. But we'll do this kind of thing. We'll do this and this. We'll go to there and grab the roof again. And that looks kind of good to me. I'll obviously fill that space in. Alternatively, I could do something like that and just drop the drop a section of roof in there, because that looks kind of interesting. I could do some lights in there if I really wanted to. That might be worth doing. I could just use the wooden one so it sort of matches the style we have going. If anything, I can actually just set it on top. Though it does sort of clip through there, I think I'll allow it. So let's give that a shot. Let's try first off clipping it through the wood itself, which is actually less noticeable than clipping it through the section of roof. So we'll do that. We'll spin it that way, lower it into the wood. And that looks fine to me. That's an interesting little structure where we can put the toilets, and we'll just go ahead and go to wall extras. We'll go to the flat roof molding, raise it up to there, and actually, it might be a better idea to delete that and go for the roof molding that has this sort of bevel on it, because I think that looks a little bit better, if anything. We could obviously go for the sort of inner bevel there, which, oh no, that would look not all that great, if anything. We don't have anything else with the bevel on it, so maybe this one will do. How would that look if we did that the whole way? Oh, we can't do it the whole way across there. Damn, that's a shame. I guess we'll just go with the flat one then. So turn it that way, raise it to there, do the same on this side, and we'll just put the square corner in there where it belongs, and in there where it belongs, in that space as well, and this one as well. That looks pretty good to me. It's an interesting structure, and that's kind of what it's supposed to be. Now here's the real question. What are lights going to look like in there? Because we're obviously not going to know until nighttime. That's the problem. But they could look ridiculous. And that's not necessarily a good thing, but we'll try and get them in there nice and sort of central like that. We'll do yellow, and we'll do I think we'll just do yellow on both sides, because why not? We'll do nice yellow lights like that there. So that should be fine. It's going to look a little bit ridiculous because it kind of looks like a small McDonald's. This is something I'm noticing with a lot of the buildings I'm doing. They end up looking oddly like a McDonald's, which isn't necessarily the best thing. Now let's see. Let's get some birch trees about here. We'll get this one to start with, and we'll get this one on just the other side of the path as well. That looks kind of good. That almost looks like an archway. I like that. That's actually really nice. Let's put a birch tree there, and we'll put a birch tree just over there as well. And then maybe a couple of sycamore trees just in the middle of these sort of curving queues. It could look kind of good. Okay, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. We need a little bit of red in there, just from this lovely floral bush that we keep using. We'll get a little bit on this side as well. We could probably do with some rocks, although these are really, really bloody big. So I guess I could get these in here. I like the idea of having a couple of rocks about here just to make it look a little different, bring something new to the area. So we'll do we'll do a little bit of that. We'll do a couple of rocks around the back of this. We'll have something like that coming up to there. Yeah, that looks okay to me. We can do a little bit of this too, just to make it look like the rocks have some, just a little bit of life growing in them. Not too much, because they're rocks and they don't really have much growing on them. But that just brings a little bit of something to them. We'll do this around the floral bush as well. Looks good to me. We'll do the same just there, and on this side of it as well. Let's be careful not to get it on the path, though. Let's see. That'll work. That looks pretty good to me. It's fairly bare, but we can do something with it. We can't really do much in... Okay, I didn't want that there. There aren't anything like benches or general path decorations in the game yet. I know there's where are they? I think there are bins. There might be bins. I'm not entirely sure, but I think those generally go in buildings. No, they're chimneys. It kind of looks like a bin, though. Is it just me, or does that look like that looks like a bin? This one is a big bin. This one is a sort of fountain-looking thing. But this looks like a bin. It really does. And to be fair, I mean, this pirate awning is... I was going to say it looks like it could be a bench there, but... Yeah, that ain't no bench. That ain't no bench. Let's see. Let's use this as a bin. Because we don't have bins yet, we'll use this as a bin. So I'm just going to put that there. And I'm going to put one just here as well. Like that. And we'll do one up this way towards this corner. And we'll do one just... Oh, I didn't reconnect those paths. Oh, bother. I didn't reconnect that one. Oh, the autosave thing. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. We can fix that in a second. Let's just get a bin there. And we'll get a bin over... here as well, just like that. And we just need to reconnect these paths. Great. So this is how the middle of our park is currently looking. It's got some lights shining up on the rides that you're not really going to be able to notice until it's nighttime. We have this light shining on the entrance to that ride. We have the lights in there, obviously, a light shining on this one. A couple of lights over here also shining on it, and a light shining on the entrance as well as all the trees. And I actually want to show you this. I used some different trees in here to sort of look like bushes almost. I also used the rhododendron. Oh my god, the music on that. You can sort of hear it there. That's an interesting one. Speed that up a little bit. But yeah, I decided to use the rhododendron like so. So it looks a little bit more like a bush than a small tree. We also used these Tuscan cypress trees as hedges as well by lowering them down into the ground like that. Sort of did the same with this one a little bit. And you know what, I'll actually just add that to there. I kind of like how that looks. Looks a little bit different, which is what I'm aiming for with all of this. Wanted to just look a little bit overgrown, almost overgrown. I won't use the word overgrown on its own. Almost overgrown is what we're going for here. It needs to look like there's a lot of natural space in here. A lot of green between the rides, just so it looks kind of pleasant, you know? Just a really pleasant place to be. And there are so many people going that way. That's kind of crazy. There are so many people queuing up for these rides. Here we go. It's getting dark, so we're going to see how the lights look and everything. I actually want to just double check and make sure this area looks all good. People using the paths quite nicely. There's good old Chief Beef. You have to acknowledge Chief Beef every time, otherwise he'll murder you in your sleep. I don't know. Look at that. That face. All right, that face. That's the face of a Stone Cold Killer, right there. That's what that is. Anyway, let's look at the lights. I want to see how they turned out. Let's just pause the game so we can get a good look. The white light on that looks excellent, actually. It lights it up really nicely at nighttime. The green sort of cyan light on there looks, again, pretty excellent. The yellow lights here, I actually kind of enjoy. We have a lot of lights in this. We have a white one on this side, then we have a couple of blue ones over on that side. Red light there, just for the entrance to it. And I kind of like that. I might actually add one more light, just a red one to this side to bring something else to this, a little bit more color. Like that could look kind of nice. And maybe a red one there as well. No. I actually think it's pretty much okay how it is. It could be fun to do what I've been trying to do with like a sort of light shining on the people. But, I mean, that is a thing I can technically do. I can put it on the path if I want to. Don't really want to do that, though. Let's just go ahead and go to scenery, go to this, and just try and hide that light a little bit. We'll drop this down sort of beside it, and then we'll put this sort of behind it as well, so it's sort of nicely just hidden away. Oh, hold on. There. That looks alright to me. The lights are obviously there, they're just sort of out of the way. These ones not so much, they're clearly visible, but I really like this. I'm loving working with lights in this, and I'm so excited to get into filling out all of this space. I think what we'll do is in the next episode, we will approach this space here. We'll either put another ride in there, which isn't all, it's a possibility, although we're going to need a really, really small one to go in there, which I don't necessarily think we have, because all the rides we have left look to be friggin' enormous. Yeah, even that one, and that one, and that one. It might be worth looking into putting in some more buildings here then, something like another little mini food court of some sort, another hat shop perhaps. And then over this way, we could probably look at putting in some of the wider rides, such as this one. Could go in there quite nicely. We could also get the swinging ship. We could probably get something like the hammer swing in there as well. Then down this way, we'll put in the rest of the rides over here and over here. And then back here, we'll have the roller coaster. We're not going to be doing all that in the next episode. Next episode will be most likely this space here and along here. Then we'll sort of fill out this space. We will eventually get to the roller coasters. I know people want to see the roller coasters, but I want to build my park and want to make it look good. And we're getting there with it. It's just a bit of a lengthy process. But eventually, we're going to have a lovely looking park here, and it's all going to be worth it. So with that in mind, I want to thank you kind of for watching. This has been Planet Coaster, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!